Okay, so the first and most consistent thing that I am doing to help prep for labor is drinking raspberry leaf tea. And it's not like raspberry tea, it's actual like raspberry leaf tea. This is the one I get. It is traditional medicinals, organic raspberry leaf. It helps ease menstrual cramps and supports a healthy pregnancy. I've done a lot of research on the raspberry leaf tea. I actually found out about it through like TikTok. Of course, that's how I find out about everything these days. But I found out about it through TikTok and I did a lot of research on it, and apparently it helps with just like strengthening your uterus, and it really helps make those contractions productive to where you're kind of skipping like the first stage of labor essentially. Like it just helps like really get those. It's supposed to help make labor shorter, and we're all about trying these things to make labor better and shorter. I'm kind of in the point of like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but at least I tried. So I have been drinking this every day. A lot of people don't like it. I don't drink hot tea. I make mine iced. So typically I do like 5 bags at once, boil the water, and then I let it sit and I put it in the fridge. So this is kind of like what it looks like when it's done. It honestly just kind of like, depending on how much you brew, kind of just looks like green, like a mix between green tea and black tea. And it says it has a robust yet delicate, like a mildly tannic black tea. Now, I know the other one that people get typically is the pregnancy tea one, and I do have that as well. I didn't end up using that because it's got the nettle leaf, I think, in it, and that gives it a minty flavor, and I am not a minty drink kind of person, so I ended up getting just the plain raspberry leaf. I was able to find this at my nearest Kroger. Otherwise, it's immensely hard to find raspberry leaf tea anywhere unless you order online. Like, I had the hardest time finding it. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely had a hard time. So I'm gonna show you guys how I make this taste delicious. Typically what I'll do is I'll pour mostly tea, and then I'll pour some ice, and then I will pour some kind of like juice or something in there. Recently I've been putting sweet tea in it. I've been putting a little bit of Gold Peak sweet tea, which is really good, and it doesn't help with like the health benefits of it, but I'll usually use that. I've used strawberry lemonade in it. I've used peach tea from Trader Joe's. So, or not peach tea, just peach juice, like any kind of juice, honestly. And I don't add that much, like maybe a tablespoon worth of the juices, because it does flavor it pretty quickly. I mean, if you're more into like sweetness, if you're really like don't like tea at all, it's probably better to add more of the juice, but I try to get as much of the tea as possible. I started this around like 34 weeks, I believe it was, and I only did like 1 cup a day just to see how it would react to my body, because you definitely don't want like it to make you, you know, cramp and stuff. But I've increased it. I do about probably 2 a day. At least that's how much I pour in my cup. I do 1 to 2. It really just depends. I have a hard time drinking liquids other than water. Like I drink so much water, and I also drink coffee. So like trying to fit water intake, tea, and coffee into my day is a little hard. So I'm definitely trying to be good about it. I probably will pour most of this in my cup, just because I really want to get a good amount. I'm really trying to get this baby out, so we're gonna do it. I'm gonna show you guys how I make this tea. Okay, so the second way I am helping prepare for labor, and this is gonna sound like a weird one because you're probably like, how does that prepare you for labor? But I have been trying to keep my house clean as possible. Now, here's the reason why. There's a couple reasons actually. So first off, I know how I am, and I know that when I come home from the hospital, I want to come home to a clean house. There's nothing worse, like just for me personally, because I'm a very clean person. I like cluttered, stresses me out. I know that if I come home and my house is a disaster zone, I'm gonna be super stressed out and not in a good mood. So like I wanna enjoy the baby as much as possible and not be freaking out about my house being a disaster. So I am trying to like keep the house as clean as possible. Tyler's been helping me. So that's like one reason. Second is if I'm less stressed about the house, the baby will come faster. If you're like stressed out and unhappy, like I just feel so much better and less stressed when my house is clean. And you know, we want all the oxytocin that we can get sent down there so this baby comes faster. If I'm stressed, it is not helping him come out any quicker. And then the third reason is it just keeps me active. There's very minimal things that I can do. A lot of the times I don't feel like walking. It's really hot outside right now and I'm in pain, like pelvic wise, like I'm in a lot of pain. So cleaning the house as much as I can at least just gives me some physical activity. It just is gonna help keep me active, keep me moving, keep me on my feet, which ultimately helps get the baby out. Because if I'm relaxing, the baby's relaxing. If I'm standing up, gravity is doing its job, getting the baby in place, you know, helping shorten and thin out my cervix and dilation and all that. So cleaning is definitely one of the things that I'm doing to help with labor, even though that might sound a little weird. We're back in the kitchen for the third one. Peep the belly. We got, it's really not that big. He's like so stretched out that it doesn't even like, I'm smaller than I was when I got my maternity photos done, plus he's so low, but it's fine. It's fine. The third thing I am doing to help with labor, and this is just mostly to help with like recovery, labor, postpartum stuff, is supplements. So I am taking a few different supplements to kind of help aid in the stuff for afterbirth, essentially. Not necessarily to help put me into labor. I mean, it could, just because of how it's like balancing out my hormones and stuff, but this is what I am taking. I work for a holistic chiropractor. I take a very specific kind of supplements. They're the standard process brand, if you've never heard of them. They are whole food supplements, and I am taking a couple different ones like prenatal and stuff, but I'm also taking some other ones specifically to help out with my labor and after. So one of the big reasons women get like postpartum depression is because they, you know, your adrenals are really fried. And so to help that, I am taking one called Adrenamin. This one is really great just to help get your adrenals. If you're feeling extra stressed, like I was feeling really, really stressed for a couple weeks, and that's not helping the baby come at all. And I started taking that, and I have so much more energy now, and I feel so much better. These are all safe to take for pregnancy. They are just out of Whole Foods. They're not like, you know, herbs or anything. They are just made from Whole Foods. So they are safe to take. So I take German. And then for anxiety purposes, I have been taking this one, which is Minchex. It helps just like calm anxiety issues. And then a big one that I just started taking a couple days ago is Ligaflex 2, which is gonna help me heal down there after. So I started taking it before, so it can kind of like build up and start strengthening the area, but I think it'll help like any tearing and any healing. It's gonna help heal like my joints and my ligaments and things like that. So highly recommend taking, like, not necessarily that you have to take the ones that I'm taking. Obviously always ask your doctor before you start anything, but I would recommend taking any kind of supplementation you can just to help you, you know, heal afterwards, make sure your nutrients are getting replenished, and that you're just staying as positive and stress-free as possible to get the baby out.
And the last thing I am doing to help with labor and inducing is bouncing on an exercise ball. This is not the first time you've probably heard this, because everyone does it. So I try to every day just bounce up and down, do like side to side circles, just to help, you know, get the cervix softened, help with dilation, get the baby engaged. And I think it helps. If it doesn't, you know, at least we tried. But this is the last thing that I am doing every day to help prep for the baby. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Let me know down in the comments what you guys have been doing to help induce labor. Maybe we can kind of get some ideas off of each other. But I will see you guys next time. Bye!